So, the present lecture is about a particular subject named land and real estate laws. Over here, the idea behind this particular lecture is to explain you certain objectives of land reforms. Okay, we will be dealing about each of those objectives one by one, and that will give us a fair assessment and idea as to how land reforms have been done over the period of time in this particular country. Okay, first basic thrust of idea with respect to land reform is to make redistribution of land so as to ensure that the socialistic pattern of a society remains intact. Okay, the idea is that such an effort will remove inequalities with respect to ownership of land. Okay, we have seen over the period of a time that the ownership of land has been maintained by a particular set of people, does not have its involvement with each and every citizen of this particular country. Very few percentage of people own land in this particular country. So that's one such basic idea with respect to land reforms. Second important idea behind land reform is to ensure that there must remain certain amount of land ceiling, and whichever land is an addition to that authorized land ceiling, that can be taken away and can be again redistributed among small or marginal farmers. So it also takes into consideration the idea that India being in the initial years of agricultural based society economy, so it takes into consideration that the land is equally distributed amongst those who do not have access to land. Okay. The third objective behind this particular concept of land reform is to legitimize tenancy and ceiling limit. It also, the fourth thereafter attached to this particular objective is that it also ensures registration of tenancy within a particular specified age region. Okay, now this helps the policymakers to assess a particular situation in an area. Okay, with respect to how many tenants they have, how many owners of a particular land they have, whether those owners who have been passing on that property for a particular period of a time under tenancy laws, they have been performing the duties accordingly. That gives a fair amount of assessment. Okay. Now the fifth important land reforms objective is to establish relationship between tenancy and ceiling. Okay, that's a very important assessment which is required, and it ensures that the relationship not just remained intact but also establishes a kind of relationship between tenancy and the ceiling. Six important requirement of land reforms is it removes the idea of rent rural poverty. Okay, so land being the basic source for human existence, if it's been redistributed amongst those who do not have access to it, ensures that they, the amount of poverty existing in a particular rural area has been shifted from particular percentage to greater well-being of others. Okay. Now the seventh important objective of land rule reforms is that it ensures that social inequality does not exist in a particular society, and encourages social development of all. The eighth important objective of land reform is empowerment of women. Okay, basically, we being a traditionally male driven society do not have any measures wherein we have been treating women equally. Okay, with respect to laws, we have those things, but in practice, it appears to be otherwise because the records of the land suggests that women do not have equal amount of share, or for that matter even a share in a particular land property compared to their male counterparts. Okay, the ninth important objective of land reform is to increase productivity of agriculture. Okay, that's another basic idea behind what we call as the reason behind the greater impetus towards land reforms was that we need to improve upon our output products coming from this agricultural economy based concept. Okay, the 10th important concept with respect to land reform is to see that every person do have a right over a piece of land. Okay, now when we are talking about piece of land, it does not have to be strictly constructed to that extent, because being a country with very high percentage of population, it is impossible. uh, but what we do understood by this is the way wherein our policies have been moving towards right to housing concept. Okay, so that doesn't mean a right with respect to attainment of piece of land to each person, but otherwise as a household. Okay, so that is being extended upon. 11th important objective with respect to land reform is the protection of tribals who are protected by the simple concept that their land must not be taken away by an outsider. So the concept of land reform talks about abolition of intermediaries between tribals and the buyer. It also makes sure that tenancy is regulated. It ensures that attempts to improve contractual terms have been taken into practice. Okay, sealing of land holds. So these are basically all of these land reforms which have an attempt, which do makes an attempt towards consolidate like sharing of on land holdings. uh, One such important aspect that needs to be covered in this particular lecture is that though we are talking about these land reforms, which in a way are also reflected in laws and in the policies adopted by the government, but their impact on the ground does not necessarily go augurs well with the kind of thought for which those objectives have been made. Okay, so the idea is that it's more of a political will of state administration that needs to be taken into consideration when they're talking about land reforms. Okay, so unless and until there is a strong political will to correct all these defaults and implement whatever reforms they have been talking about in a proper manner, till then, though on papers it appears to be a genuine effort on behalf of state, but its impact remains limited on the ground. With this particular lecture with respect to objectives gets completed. Thank you.